Hey, Chris Liepe here. I have a short video of my own vocal tract where I'm going from a clean head voice note into a clean chest voice note, then clean compression, then light distortion into heavy constriction, and then back all the way to clean and soft again. I find this super fascinating to see what's happening as the sound and sensations change. I'm always talking about and demonstrating different types of distortions on the channel, and I always say, keep that constriction, keep that distortion feeling like it's high in your throat. And this little video demonstrates that actually happening as it gets more intense, at least with these techniques that I'm using, the constriction continues to raise. So let's watch it and then I'll unpack what's happening a little bit more. Now, what I just did, and I'm still always learning, takes a lot of practice, a lot of fooling around with your vocal tract and making silly sounds and doing all sorts of different things non-judgmentally. And using it in a creative way is even more difficult. If you'd like help developing these kinds of coordinations, but you don't really know where to start, click the link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free course. I'll help you build muscle memories, sensations into your voice so you can do all sorts of things you never thought possible. Okay, let's unpack what's happening here. It's a little dark, and you can see that they've put a filter on this so that you could see the vascularity of the tissue surrounding the vocal cords. You can see the vocal cords themselves are quite healthy, straight edges as they vibrate, as you'll continue to see. No nodules or polyps or lesions of any kind. These white things are the primary cords. Right next to the primary cords and up just a little bit, this area and this area, these are the false cords. And there's a couple different names for those. Up here, these are the arytenoids. And then if we were zoomed out a little bit more, you would see my epiglottis show up down here. You can see mucus plagues my vocal cords. I struggle with postnasal drip quite a bit. You can learn to work with it. Mucus isn't an excuse to not being able to sing, but it does get me. I've learned how to lean into it and actually use it in my sounds. And you do see here that I actually use the saliva and mucus when I go really constricted. It helps with the rattly sound. Now listen and look as I start in head voice for a very brief moment. The vocal cords look taller, thinner, longer. This is a head voice posture. I don't change the pitch though. I actually go into a different register. I go from head to chest, and you can see when that happens, they shorten. Chest. Now right here, you can see the entire vocal tract doing this. The arytenoids up here have gotten bigger. They're constricting, and because of the angle of the scope, it's doing this. You can also see with the arytenoids getting bigger and more prominent, the false cords are starting to move inward and also get a little bit bigger. Watch what happens. The vocal tract isn't quite fully constricted, but you can see down in this little hole here, if I back up, look, see what the false cords are doing? The vocal cords are going to disengage. And then you can see as I move it in slow motion, the false cords are doing this. Let's listen to that part again. There was that brief part where I was distorted singing, and you saw the vocal cords still engaged behind the false cords, and then they disengage. Into a long, thin, stretched head voice note again. And then as I go back out, you can see and hear when the aretinoids sort of back off. Then you have the false chords flapping next to each other with primary chord engagement, and you get that buzzer sound. I love that you can see it, and it looks so different than some of the other things that you're seeing. Now here you can see the saliva and mucus and all the fluid that's in there vibrating and rattling along with this intense upper constriction. Yes, upper, it's higher. You can't see the false chords. You can't see the primary chords anymore. The air is passing through this narrow opening caused by this apparent enlargement and encroaching role of the aretinoids. So we could call that an aretinoid rattle with false chord engagement, right? I'm going from that, which does feel lower, and then shaping it, of course, with my mouth. That's what we're seeing here. And you can see foam from all the rattling of the fluid that goes on there as well. Now, as you take all these postures and techniques that I rolled through in this short video to different parts in your range, things do look and feel a little bit different. But being able to visualize what's actually happening in the vocal tract during these transitions has been extremely helpful for me in continuing to hone and develop these techniques across my range. I can be more musical now because I can see with confidence that things are happening in specific ways, and I can put sight to what I'm feeling, and I see that I'm doing things in a healthy way too because my vocal cords are in great shape. And when I'm experimenting musically with these things and putting them into real melodies, to sing and scream. The more you learn, the more you can learn. And again, if you'd like help putting these kinds of sounds and sensations in your own voice and learning how to use them musically and freely, click that link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free course. And here are some more videos on distortion.